I'm going to give you guys 5 amazing realm ideas that will help keep your player base healthy and your realms super fun to be a part of. Stick around to the end. I even have some tips and tricks if you're having trouble with your current realm or server, and I think you're going to learn something today. It's a good one. All right, let's get into it. Okay, number 1, I call it divide and conquer. It's pretty simple. It's a short-term realm, maybe like 3 months you're going to get out of this idea. You start with a small map, so either build a border around your world or have a small map available to play on. You're going to want to diverse biomes in this map, and you want to split the map in half. So the big idea here is you start with 2 separate teams that in the end are going to battle each other. It's a really fun concept that gives each team something to work for all season long, which helps retention and helps keep people engaged in the game. The way I did mine is I set it up in 1-month increments. The first month, you're going to resource gather and start working on your main castle. The second month, I open up the middle border, and it's called the month of peace, and you are allowed to trade with the other team and resource gather in a little bit bigger area and finalize your battle castle. I made a rule that the castles were off limits. That way you could do some secrets and traps. And finally, the third month, I called this month the fighting month or just the battle month. And what you do in that month is set up events, maybe one a week or maybe just one big one at the end. And essentially you're just playing mini games with the creations that you made. Perhaps it is a total takeover of a castle. Maybe it's capture the flag. There's endless possibilities when you each have a really big castle to defend and a castle to go attack. Such a fun idea. It was well received and probably the most fun. Like the end battle was just utter chaos. Okay, the second big idea is no diamond currency. This is more of a long scale realm idea, and the whole premise of it is you need to create some sort of alternate currency. Now, if you were allowed to add some mods here, it would be amazing. Some item in the game that one person could control, the admin or the owner of the realm, and you dole that currency out with community tasks. So what works really well with this idea is one central mega build. So if you have a bunch of people that you like to build with, and you guys want to actually come together and build something insane, like with a large group, this realm idea works really well. So how it works is you determine the build, you determine the theme, and that's really up to you guys. And then the owner or the banker creates a job list of all the resources, all the things that you're going to need to make this build possible. And you dole out currency for those tasks that you get. So maybe a shulker of some sort of material, you would get this much currency. And then in the in-game shops in the shopping district, you receive that currency. Diamonds mean nothing. None of the ores mean nothing. It's only this currency that matters. Why this is such a cool idea is because it really just changes the way that you play and grind the game. Really, this could be a super long-term realm. I mean, it could be open for years or even indefinitely. There is a lot of setup for this, especially what we used for in-game currency were signed books by the admin. And so because they were signed by the admin, you couldn't really copy them. And they were book notes, so it would be like a $5 bill, a $10 bill, and so on. It was so much fun. It was probably one of the best building realms we've ever had. Okay, number 3 is, this is not my idea. This is an old idea, but I'm gonna try to plead with you guys to give it a try. This is a short-term realm idea, and that is called Chaos. Or other people say like an anarchy server. It's a lot more fun than you think it is, especially if you have a good group of people that knows there are no rules, and you go in with the intention of everything here can be destroyed. It's really, really fun, and here's why. Without rules, you play the game completely different. Minecraft will feel completely fresh for you. It feels more like a battle royale, Hunger Games, a PUBG, or a Fortnite or something than Minecraft. Everything you do is to either hide from others or to raid and attack others. It's so much fun. A couple of words of caution here. If people really get offended by griefing and stuff, they're not going to be the kind of people you want to invite into the world. You want to make sure your player list is very, very on board with the idea of no rules. So much fun can ensue though if you have a good group of people. Alliances form, alliances are betrayed, traps are made. Like every part of a chaos realm is so fun because they're usually all the types of things that you don't normally do in Minecraft. Okay, so number 4, this is probably the best idea, at least in its actual function, that I've ever had for running a realm or a server. It's called 4 tribes. And how I set this up is basically everyone needs to understand coordinates, which that might be a little learning curve for some of you, but it's not too difficult. And if you use enough signs and you have enough teaching sessions about it, people can understand coordinates. But the premise is basically this. There are 4 teams. And in each coordinate of the Minecraft map, so for instance, positive X and positive Z, or negative X and negative Z, those would be 2 coordinates. Each team has their own land. This is the only land they're allowed to resource gather in. This is the only land they're allowed to build in. And this is the only land that they have authority over. So each like leader or king or tribe person can make up the rules of their tribe or land. So some people maybe close off their borders. You can't come into our land at all. Other people may have open borders. And the list really, I mean, the ideas and the possibilities are endless. Why this was so fun is because in the middle, we had like a large section of common ground where we could come in, have a shopping district, meet with other tribe members. The whole idea really worked well. It was probably our longest running realm with the most, or with the least, I should say, player drop off. Such a cool concept. Everyone gets into their land. There's a couple of curveballs too with it, which I really like, is sometimes people want to change lands. And so there'd be a meeting of the kings or meeting of the tribe leaders of like, hey, you want to take this person or you want this person. So anyways, amazing idea. 4 tribes. Probably my favorite realm to date, and you should give it a try. Okay, finally, number 5, and this is going to be called the themed realm. And this idea is really good for when you have a lot of people who have played in the same server as you, or you guys are running out of ideas. You know, you've done a few worlds together, you've done a few servers together, and it's just starting to feel a little bit stale. So how this all starts is the admin creates a bunch of themes. Maybe it's Star Wars, Pirates of the Caribbean, maybe it's modern, maybe it's like a city. The idea here to make it fresh is to try to pick a theme that will challenge everybody, but also will engage everybody. So you don't want to do something very abstract, but you also don't want to do something like a medieval town and farm theme. Like that's literally most of all Minecraft realms. Why it works is it just draws people in together. Collaborations happen a lot more easily. The whole idea of like, I don't know what to do or what to build, it kind of just goes away. Everyone's on the same page. You can give each other a lot of feedback and stuff, and ideas can just bounce around a lot easier if you're all on board with one specific theme. This was one that we did. We did a Mass Effect, like futuristic space theme where like everything was built out of white concrete. It just looked very futuristic and crazy. And it was super fun. It was even getting the resources like, hey, we need shulkers and shulkers of white concrete. It drew us together to try to generate all of those resources. Before we get started, I just want to remind you guys that realms and servers, the only way you're going to have a really true good experience with those are the people that you play with. So even with these ideas, there's no guarantee they're going to work well with your community. Ultimately, it boils down to you as the owner and all the people that you let in. That group of people is really going to determine everything. So try to surround yourself with positive people who really love the game and are there for the right reasons. A couple other ideas that will really help, and the things that I've learned over the years, is you really have to hype up everything with good communication. You want to even have a group chat. And if you're not sure about how to do that, well, something new is coming in the 1.21 update that I'm really excited about. It's called Realm Stories, and it's essentially a place to communicate with your Realm members right in game. So that's gonna help you guys out a lot. And finally, the last tip, if you're gonna run and own a realm, you're gonna want a good set of rules, and you really need to enforce those rules. At the very least, you're gonna have times that you have to have one-on-one conversations with people about breaking the rules. If you skip this step, which I think happens a lot, the player base will fall off, because without good leadership, without good order, people aren't going to want to spend a lot of time in that server. So I hope that all of these ideas and tips helped you with running your server or your realm. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.